What's going on, everybody? Just want to say thanks for stopping into this video. Today I want to show you how you can change your stage design to have a triple wide projector screen like we have right behind us. This is not something that just happens overnight. It does take a lot of planning and preparing for something like this. But I wanted to come on here today and actually create a little tutorial video of how I made something like this even happen. I know a lot of churches out there are looking for a cool stage design or upgrading your technology, but you may be looking at different things that are out there and say, that's way out of my price range. We were able to work with this stage design within our price range at an affordable budget. So hopefully you can watch this video and get a lot from it. And if you got any questions, please leave some comments down below in the video. And I would be more than happy to help out in any way that I can. And if you also see something that you see in here that I've done that might be a better way to do it, I would love to also hear from you as well. So today we're just going to show you how we went from our previous stage design to what we have now, which is a triple wide 3 projector setup. And I'm going to show you step by step what I used, how I made it and installed it, and made it work the way that we have it now. So hope you enjoy. All right, so before we begin the actual process of how I installed everything, before I present any idea to my pastor or to our trustees or any type of way, I always like to actually give kind of a drawing of what it'll kind of look like, and I also like to put the prices of each one of them as well. And so everything that you see here, we're actually going to go ahead and put it in the description down below of all the things that I used. And just how I moved forward with the entire process. Obviously, if you're going to need longer SDI cables for your place, I recommend you get longer ones, but I'll go ahead and put the ones that I grabbed in the link below and just kind of move forward. So just to start off, you can see, we're going to be running everything from our computer here that has the software ProPresenter, and we're going to be connecting it to a DeckLink Duo right here. And what this DeckLink will do is convert it to where this computer that I currently have only has 2 outputs through Thunderbolt, and we needed more, obviously. And so with this DeckLink Duo, it's basically going to take the inputs or the outputs that you're going to be having from the computer and give you 4 more outputs. And so with this DeckLink Duo, you have to keep it into a chassis so it can work properly and connect through Thunderbolt. And so with the Echo Express, you get that connected as a 2-in-1 deal. And then from there, you'll be sending SDI cables to your Blackmagic SDI to HDMI converters. And you can see, because of the 3, I had to get 3 of them. And then from there, I run HDMI to our Epson Pro EX9240. I really like these projectors, very affordable projectors. And at the time, whenever I bought them, they were actually $6.99. And so I just went to, I ordered, I believe 2 of them online, and then I went to this store here in town, and I just went and bought the other one, and it worked out great. And so really like the Epson Pro EX9240. It's got great color. It's got a great contrast. The looms on them are 4,000. And so for an affordable projector, I think these really do the job well. And so this is kind of what I presented to my pastor right away, and I also wanted to give kind of like a rundown or a more presentable look of what it's even going to look like. And so I think it's very important to always present the vision and the why of what are we doing and how are we going to accomplish it. And so I went ahead and presented this as well on top of our other stage design, and just so they can kind of see a visual of it. So mapped it out as best as I could, and there we have it. That's kind of the setup and the prep work that I wanted to do before I actually bought anything, installed anything, and then kind of went from there. So alright, at this point I want to go ahead and show you how we started to install it. And so right away we have ProPresenter right here, and we have our DeckLink Duo plugged into the back of this with our chassis that is holding this right here. And so what we do is we go ahead and plug it in with Thunderbolt right here as an output, and this cable gets sent back to right down here at the bottom, this cable right there. And it gets plugged in there, and it gives power to our chassis and our DeckLink Duo. And then we want to send our SDI cables out. So, as you can see here, I have these references 1, 3, 2, 4. That is how they come. I'm not really sure why, but I figured that out as kind of working through that. And so what I wanted to do is I wanted to kind of just present it through the numbers of what I would be seeing from left to right through the projector. So this is projector 1, this is projector 2, and this is projector 3. The one on the far right here is a reference one, so I cover that up, and we have an extra SDI output if we ever need it for the future. So what I do here is I drop it down, and then I run it through a channel that I have in the wall here, actually, and I run it up through the ceiling, and I take it all the way over there. So let's go on over there. All right, so I currently have the 3 screens on, and I have the pattern testing going on right now. And I am up here by the projector itself. As you can see on the back, I just have a simple HDMI plug-in going on right here. And so what we gotta look at though, is that we need to look up above here how I mounted the projector on a drop-down ceiling, and how I also did the cabling for it as well. So as you can see, we have a SDI to HDMI converter. So I have the SDI cable itself that is running from the DeckLink Duo that is back in the booth. And then I plug in the HDMI cable right there, and it just gets transferred right over to the projector. When it comes to mounting, this was kind of a complicated situation that I had to do here. But I found some pieces of wood that was back in our storage area, and I just made it to where it overhanged a little bit on the panels on both sides, and then I bolted in the projector mount on the top side here. So it's pretty sturdy. You know, these projectors are only 8 pounds, so it's not like it's gonna be pulling down these things or anything like that. These are pretty sturdy, they don't move, and it makes it nice and easy to secure. All right, now that we have our 3 projectors set up and installed on the ceiling, we want to make sure that they are overlapped properly. I would encourage you, whenever you are installing these, I would start with the middle one first, get that properly set up and where you would like it, and then from there go ahead and install the left and right based on the size that you are going to be needing for your screen. And so from here you can go into basically any projector that you have, and there is a setup option of testing pattern. And what this does now is you can see vertically and horizontally we are set up to be aligned all across, and so there isn't any disalignment, or if there's any words up on the screen, that they're not all basically not overlapping properly. So this gives a good test right away that you can just see, hey, am I straightened out on all 3 of my projectors? And you can see that I am. And so you can definitely see where I could have done a better job at overlapping compared to the left and right, where the right side has a little bit more of an overlap compared to the left side. But it kind of just worked out that way. And so I think it looks good on the back end. And so I've kind of just left it. So yeah, just do your test patterns, make sure they're lined up properly, and make sure going forward, if you see anything that's looks kind of weird for your words, check your test pattern to see if that's even straightened out all the way across. So test patterns are very important. All right, as you're starting to configure your DeckLink Duo and getting it connected with ProPresenter and having your projectors all work together as one triple wide screen, you're going to need some software from Blackmagic to actually make this setup happen and configure your screens and your SDIs to work properly. And so what you need to do is you need to go to Blackmagic Design's website, and you'll need to go to their support area. In the support area, whenever you get here, you want to search by model, and how you are going to search this is by typing in DeckLink Duo 2. From here, you'll want to click on this, and you are going to want to go ahead and download whatever version of software you are going to be needing. So as of right now, it shows that it is 12.71 for Mac. That's what I would be needing. And so I would download that software, and whenever I would get the software, I would then have it pull up as this software right here, Desktop Video Setup. And you can see individually here, we can go through all of them and see what's happening for all four, or we can break it more down as a grid setup and individually actually go into and check and see what's going on. And so whenever you actually open up your desktop video setup, you'll actually see what the connectors are doing. And so I don't remember exactly if it was set up. Yes. So the Decklink 1 SDI input, it would originally set up as the connector as SDI 1 and 2. And I believe it would be something similar here. Yeah, 3 and 4. And so you'd want to actually change them to actually be individual outputs for their own thing. So then you can actually make each projector do their own thing all across. And so this is something important to get your SDIs to be individual outputs to work with ProPresenter. So once you have this downloaded and once you have this configured, we can go over to ProPresenter now and actually get to work when it comes to the configuring screens. And so in here we have our setup of what we typically do, but we want to actually get our screens to configure properly with all of them. So what we'll do is we'll go up to screens at the top here, and we will go down to configure screens. From here you can see I already have mine all set up and ready to go, but I want to click on them individually so you kind of see what the settings are all around. So right away you're going to start off, whenever you're adding a new screen, it's going to start off as a single one. And what you're going to do is you're going to put in whatever one. I would probably start off with your furthest left one and then just kind of work your way all across. What you're going to do is you're going to set your output to be your Decklink Duo 1, and whatever your setting is inside the desktop one that you have it configured to be, that's what you'll also put it as well. So from there you will have that set up, and you are going to want to add as many projectors that you are using. I'm using 3 in this instance, so I'm going to change my number from 1 to 3 after I selected the edge blend option. From here you'll want to do the same thing. Decklink Duo 2, put it in as your setting. Decklink 3, put it in as my setting, and then go from there. Whenever you look at your screen now, you're going to see probably some stuff not horizontally aligned, where left and right it's kind of looking like it's all over the place, maybe words, or I would recommend throwing up a screen where it's got words at this point so you can kind of see how it's looking overlapping with each other. And then from here you can actually go into the edge blending options for these. So you can see with mine I have my width set for 172 with a curve of a cubic one that's set for both of them as well instead of the linear. I just felt like it gave a better, cleaner look for my screen personally, but you also need to kind of just look at it and kind of see what best fits your screen as well. And so there's also setting options for this side as well. This is 268 for my width, and then it's same thing for over here as well. And you can see here that the left screen, it's literally taking the Decklink Duo 2 screen, and then the right screen is the 3 screen, and it's kind of working together for both those. So you'll have to kind of mess around with it a little bit to get it the exact way that you like it, but I do believe whenever you get it nice and set, it should be good to go moving forward. And so that is how you'll configure your Decklink Duo SDI outputs to actually work and connect to ProPresenter and actually have them be individual outputs moving forward.
The next thing that people are asking a lot is, what did you do with the screen itself? What material is that? How did you make it happen? Honestly, guys, it's just paint. It is just paint. There is no screen here. It's just paint. You can see as we get closer, you can see more details of the wall. And all we did was we primed the wall, because originally it was black. We primed it, and then we put a nice HD white paint on top of it that was made for projectors. I didn't even know if there was such thing, but you know, it's Amazon. They got everything on there. And then from there, we added this Clarity border around it as well to give it a nice frame for it on the top and bottom. And so I had to get 2 rolls of it. I had to get a 60-foot roll that would go over the top and the bottom. And then I believe I had to get a 30-foot roll for the sides, just for extra at that point, honestly. So that's how we configured the screen on. There's no material used here. It's just paint and a border that's set all around it. So this is how we did our setup here at our church for our triple wide screen. It ended up being 30 feet wide and 6 feet tall. And so it gave our church a very massive upgrade of our look and our stage design and everything like that. And so we are very happy with how things turned out around here. I don't know if you've ever looked at LED walls at this size, but they're very expensive. And so we wanted to go a different route at a much better budget. And so the total with material and equipment and ended up paint job itself, it ended up being close to about $4,000 total. But man, this gave a great improvement where we no longer have to make any more big stage designs moving forward, but we can also just have a nice triple wide screen that looks very modern and clean as well. So hopefully this helped out. If you have any other questions, please leave your comments down below in this video, and I'd be more than happy to answer any questions if you come across any problems, or if you see of a way that we did it around here that would be better. I would also love to hear that as well from you. So hopefully this video made sense for everybody, and hopefully you can watch this video or present it to people in your church for an idea that you can do move forward. So thank you guys for watching, and appreciate it.